Things are revving up. It says we're live.
Oh, okay.
Cool, cool, cool. Yep. So, welcome to Two Cousins Talk. I'm Phil Nielsen.
Hi, and I'm T Tizzle,
And
coming at you from fucking uh, Cyber City.
it's me and
I'll
my
be.
little living room.
No, you're also in Cyber City. You're just indoors
Oh, okay.
because yeah. I'm on the balcony.
you know, looking at that, beautiful purple haze.
Jeez, it's hazy out here, dude. It's hey, it's fu- I mean, it's dystopian out here.
Yep. So,
Oh, that's it. That's interesting. Twitch flips the cameras, x-axis.
yep,
Oh, I didn't know that. What's that? Sorry.
that's good. And, today we're talking about our top five underappreciated, lesser known. It's movies that we've enjoyed that we feel other people, in the world haven't either heard of or because recently we had I at my work we had some coworkers who were sitting here talking, quoting Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and they're just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And it's just like, okay, there's, it's like, but I'll accept, people who aren't allowed to watch, but that sparked this idea.
And it's kind of like looking over my list now. I think probably a lot of people have heard of some of these movies, but it almost feels like it's like this list that's like a lot of it is stuff made by people who've made movies people know about, like
Yeah.
what you said, the Monty Python. It's like they have like there are a couple movies that everyone knows about, but then there's the other movies they made.
Yeah. Well,
that
I mean, to me, it's like Mel Brooks. You just have to. All you have to say is Mel Brooks, and someone's either quoting, Spaceballs, History of the World, Blazing Saddles. I mean, even his, some are lesser known. His own movies. I mean, but it's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I mean, if I were to, say, the Two Utes, and you had no idea what movie that was from, which is, you know, spoilers.
Oh no, it's our third cousin, Vinny.
Yeah.
He's not here right now. He's getting arrested by the police, by the cyber police.
Yeah. He wanted his grits a little too fast.
That's right.
So, oh,
But yeah,
that,
no, I think what ultimately my list reflects is movies that I think are a little unknown, but more it's also I think underrated.
some
It's just sort of what it came out to be.
my I have at least one on there to me that is hugely underrated, underrated. It's because it's a sequel to a previous franchise. I mean, if we want to start off, hey, which is my number five,
Let's go.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
the reason it to me is very underappreciated is because one has the Halloween name on there, but there's no Michael Myers. And I mean, I was guilty of it too, because oh yeah, it doesn't. But it's one of those over time I've watched it more, and I've like, you know what, on standalone by itself, it's a great movie. I understand why John Carpenter wanted to, because he feels like, okay, the Michael Myers story's over. let's do a movie, but people were like, oh, no, we need to have Michael Myers. But, I mean, I'll give a little synopsis. Basically, a company that makes Shamrock, Silver Shamrock, are making these masks to kill the population, to unalive the population. And a doctor who stumbles upon it with the help of a supplier's daughter stop it, and so forth. Had Tom Atkins, who's probably like one of the greatest, 70s, 80s actors of his time.
Was he the villain?
No, he was the the hero. I'm trying.
Okay.
Let me look up who the villain was, but it was like a lot of good surprise turns, like the security guards, or turns out to be like robots.
Oh, okay.
And it was like it's okay. Here's all right. Cast. Dan O'Halloran played Cornell Cochran.
Cornell Cochran.
Yeah. He was in Last Starfighter as Grigg. Oh yeah, he was the CEO in RoboCop.
Oh yeah, like the main CEO guy. Yeah.
Or is known as the Old Man.
Yeah. Fucking old man. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's interesting. That like they basically. Yeah, I don't know. They use the name Halloween. It's part of the Halloween series. It's the third one, but it's a totally different story.
Yep. I mean, I have my own theory that you could put the Halloween 3 into the Halloween mythos, and so forth.
Is there any sort of Easter egg to Mike Myers at all?
The only sort of Easter egg is during they're at the bar and they're like, you see in the TV screen, John Carpenter's the first Halloween movie playing in the background.
I gotcha. Huh? That is interesting.
Yeah.
Man, looking at the cover, I remember seeing this VHS, like at the store.
Yeah.
And always kind of intrigued by it, but yeah, I've never seen this one.
Yeah, no, it's.
In fact, honestly, I've never seen any Halloween movie at all.
Yeah, it was one of those, like I started with Nightmare on Elm Street, snubbed my nose at sort of Jason, but then started watching the Jason movies. So I snubbed my nose at Michael Myers, Texas Chainsaw. Guess what? Now I like them all.
Wow. Oh man, yeah, 1982?
Yep.
Damn, when was the first Halloween? When was the first one?
78.
77?
77, yeah, I think 78. And
damn, so, wow. So they just churned them out.
Yeah. Horror movie, are cheap to make, but, if they're done right, can make buku money.
Yes, sir. Yeah, cool. Yeah, underappreciated, underrated,
Yep.
black sheep of the family, but you say it's worth it.
Yeah.
Worth the watch.
Yep. All right. So, what's your number 5?
All right, number 5 again, this goes into, this is an Abrams and Zucker special, but not one of the better known ones. Top Secret. That's right.
You want to know what? That's on my list too.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, it's no secret, folks. Me and Phil consumed a lot of the same media as children, and we watched this fucking movie.
Yeah, I think didn't we watch this like because we were. They're the ones who did the Hot Shots, right?
Yeah, Hot Shots. Yeah.
And I think we watched those movies before I even saw Top Secret. I think we went over one day and you plugged it into your VCR. And I'm like, what is this movie?
What the hell is this?
The Beach, his Beach Boy, Val Kilmer's Beach Boy, cover. Skeet shooting.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, this is they did, Airplane is obviously the big one, right? And then the Police Squad television show.
Yep.
That all came before this one. And so that was the big thing, and so I don't know. It's almost and so Top Secret came out in '84, and I had thought that it was pre-Airplane. But it wasn't. It was post-Airplane. And so, it's almost like, man, maybe was this people looking forward to this movie, and then it didn't do as well at the box office?
Yes, with their movies, it's either sometimes they were, because I remember Hot Shots was, when they did that one, it was like advertised everywhere. It was like
big fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, big.
There's probably one of those that's just like, okay, what's, a quick, it was, could have been on the cusp of on those, direct-to-video movies, direct-to-tape. Well, let me look.
Well, and then obviously there was the Naked Gun, of course, right? And that's one. And so I guess as kids we always thought, those were like the bigger ones, not big enough to get a couple sequels. But I think Top Secret is it's got the gold star in terms of their movies for me.
76 rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Top Secret?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not so underappreciated.
Well, but if you,
I felt it was underappreciated.
But I'm pretty sure if you would have said, the Zuckerman brothers, I'm pretty sure that would be on their bottom of their list.
Probably. But no, it's at the top of my list for their movies. Val Kilmer's first role ever. About a Elvis-y, just some dude who gets in with the Nazi resistance in France. Sacre bleu, chocolat mousse.
Heavily armed. And deja vu. Have we met
before, monsieur? No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah. No. Did you remember, the old man who with they go the scenes like played backwards.
Yeah.
That was Peter Cushing.
Nice. He was probably on set somewhere. He was probably in the studio somewhere. Hey, Peter, we need a quick thing. All right, let's go.
But I was like, I generally would, if they actually did, if there was a soundtrack and it had the Nick Rivers songs, I probably would buy it. Just, one to see people going like, what are you, when did the Beach Boys release this song? Like,
shop at Macy's, it'll be alright. This movie's the shit. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you don't seem to hear it talked about a lot. I love it. It's still great.
Yep.
So there you go. That's my number 5.
Yep. That definitely brings back a lot of memories. I may have to find my copy and watch it tonight. Okay, so my number 4. This one actually sort of bums me out because this was going to be in my top 3, 2 maybe, but the more people I actually, who had seen it and knew the quotes from it, dropped it down, is Yellowbeard.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Everybody loves Yellowbeard, dude.
Yeah. But there was there was a short while where I would say, stagger, roll, and stuff, and it's just like to me, it's like one of those like super comedy because it has a lot of people, has the people from Monty Python in it, Cheech and Chong are in it. And it's almost a serious pirate movie, but there's just a lot of wacky things in it. They got the son having the map tattooed on his head, and and then to reveal it, he chops his hair off, and so he has this. For the last part of the movie, he has this, big old bald spot in the back of it.
Right. God. Well, yeah, this is the movie I definitely have to rewatch because I haven't watched it since we were kids, and I remember almost nothing except just very quick shots, things. I have to watch this movie.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about it.
The mother of the kid, has Blind Pew kills everybody in a tavern, and then when certain people show up, she's like, "What killed him? The plague? That man has a sword in him. He fell on it." And it was just like some of the overacting in it. It was just like, but to me, it was like, it was one of those serious but funny movies. That.
Well, yeah, God, yeah, it's so because Graham Chapman plays Yellowbeard.
Yeah,
that's just straight up, and Eric Idle's in it too.
Yep.
Is that right?
The guy who played Igor is in it. Marty Feldman. Wow.
So, but I do remember it being kind of like no, I remember thinking that it didn't seem like it was a normal comedy. I remember that. I remember thinking that as a kid. I was like, this is funny, but it's not like Airplane.
Yeah.
Huh. Peter Boyle?
Yep.
Jesus. It was just a who's who.
I mean, it was.
But yeah, it's got a 5.9.
I mean, I think that was probably Graham Chapman's last role and stuff.
Oh, that was 83?
Yeah. David Bowie makes an appearance in it.
Wow. They just got everybody. Fucking Cheech and Chong. All right, yeah. Nah. This is on the list. Jesus. All right, cool, man. All right, we're at number 4.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4, and this is probably leans into more I think people know about this movie, but everyone says it sucks, and they're wrong. Forrest Kroll, 1983.
Young Liam Neeson.
Neeson is the only dude most people will know.
I remember this movie. That I was like, I think this is like, you know, this movie is like one of the movies we would watch on, you know, like it was like our Saturday or Friday evening movie we would watch when we would have sleepovers.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We watch this shit all the time. Because it is the shit. It's like but I mean, I suppose I understand because it was kind of like it's weird because it's like it's definitely kind of like you can definitely see that it's basically a studio made film. It was a bunch of people being like, we need to put Conan and Star Wars together.
Yeah.
And mash them up. That's obvious. It's an obvious, and it's sort of an obvious, like, let's make some money.
Yeah.
On a thing. But even good things can come out of that.
Yeah.
And I believe because this thing has just enough weird shit.
I mean, I think
it makes it good.
Yeah. I mean, this was I think the one, you know, the act when I used to. I think probably why I'm not as scared, but the spider scene. That was probably the only scene that have ever terrified me. Because I don't like spiders, and that size of spider. Yeah, that was definitely super underappreciated.
Yeah, man, yeah, the spider scene's really good. Obviously the glaive is the shit.
Yeah.
His weapon. And I really like the Cyclops character.
Yeah.
And his whole the whole idea that like Cyclops know when they die, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is so awesome. It's just so awesome.
Yeah. Because I recently was told who played as him, and I was shocked on that.
Oh, like you would know him.
Bernard Bresslaw.
Oh. Did he play other really huge people? Because that dude was fucking tall.
Yeah. Filmography. He started in 1954. He was mainly a comedy actor.
Oh.
No, he didn't do a whole lot. Well, he did a lot, but nothing that we saw. I mean, he did. Okay, I was almost saying, it's like there was a TV.
Oh wait, are you talking about the comic relief dude?
No. The guy.
Because the comic relief dude is named Bernard Archer. That dude played the jester guy.
Yeah, no,
the wizard.
Yeah, no, this one is the Ergo. Of course, I'm looking this up on Wikipedia. It's probably. But yeah, no, it says Bernard Bresslaw.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the.
He's got a really funny picture on IMDb.
Yeah, but. Yeah, no. To me, it was like it had definitely a great soundtrack too.
Oh well, no, not the best soundtrack.
Yeah.
If we ever do a top 5 soundtracks, it's number 1 on my list. It's fucking incredible.
I don't know.
I play it on YouTube with them.
I was like, would it really be Pulp Fiction.
Yes. Well, but that's different because Pulp Fiction is curated music.
Okay.
No, yeah. What's the other word other than soundtrack? Like
Inspired.
score.
Okay.
Film score.
Okay.
So yeah, best film score. I would say.
All right.
Just incredible. So yeah, if anyone wants to watch a nice '80s fantasy with some weird Star Wars elements, hit up Kroll.
I mean, to me, it was like it's like you can almost say swashbuckling fantasy with Star Wars
And Liam Neeson.
Yeah. So
yeah, dude, I don't think anybody took off. I think he's pretty much the only one.
Recently,
the old man was a well-known actor.
Yeah, but I saw the guy who played the hero in another movie not too long ago. But
really?
Yeah.
When he was older.
Yeah.
Ken Marshall. Oh, that's cool.
It was like, God, he looks so familiar, and then it would just I looked, saw his name, looked it up, and I'm like, oh shit, he was from Kroll.
Nice. Cool. But yeah, it looks like he's done a lot of television. Yeah, done some couple. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my number 4.
Yeah. Definitely a great one. So this one, number 3, which is I think it's for My Cousin Vinny.
Oh. Okay.
To me, because it's like I think it's Joe Pesci's one of his greatest movies. Because to me, this was, and I'm not taking away from his Scorsese's, but to me, this was so quotable too. This movie was so quotable. Like I said, the two Utes. Did you say Utes? Fred Gwynn in it. What was it? God, now I think it's Rosie Perez. No.
Oh, Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, I seem to always get those two mixed up. But to me, it was this. But some people seem not to know it.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, because
maybe this one I focus it more on more of today's youth.
Oh,
maybe that's what because it was just like.
Well, yeah, no. This is probably could maybe be your most contentious take. I mean, it did really well at the box office.
Yeah.
And Marissa Tomei won an Oscar.
Yeah.
From this movie. But and maybe this is kind of movie where it kind of fell off. Although according to IMDb, its popularity has been waning.
Really?
It's been going down.
All right, we need to start a group. Get it back in rotation.
You want to bot rank the movie?
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, no, this movie's the shit, dude. In fact, I randomly watched it a couple months ago, just randomly. Hadn't seen it in a while, and yeah, it still is watchable as it ever was.
Yeah,
it's just fun to watch.
I watched it at least a couple of years ago, and it was one of those. I was on Instagram, and it popped on my reels, and I'm like, oh God, I haven't seen that. And the whole reason they, Karate Kid's in it, Ralph Macchio. Him coming into the prison. It's like, bring me to the new guys, and Ralph Macchio's friends thinking it's, something else is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because what was it like? They accidentally shoplifted something.
They thought it was over a can of tuna.
Yeah. All this over a can of tuna.
when did you not shoot the clerk? And then him realizing,
Whoa! But yeah, this is one of those movies where it was like, us as Karate Kid folks were always like, yeah, Ralph Macchio's the shit. He should be in a lot more stuff.
yeah. I mean, he did a lot of The Outsiders.
Yeah, but like through the years, always thought we would have seen more and more of him, and then he went, and then randomly he showed up in this, and the weird thing about the movie is that like the first third of it is like he's in it a lot and his friend, it's about them, but then once Joe Pesci gets in, then it's all about him. You don't even see them anymore.
Yeah, it comes the Joe Pesci show. When I have, him showing up in that like carny outfit, the whole washer came down with the flu.
The whole store has the flu. So I wore this ridiculous outfit for you. You on drugs? I don't like your attitude. He holds him in contempt of court just for like having a bit of attitude. Wait, speaking of Joe Pesci, here's the thing: is that if you want to talk about esoteric movies, man, I mean, you remember The Super?
Oh yeah.
Talk about, well, I mean, I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched it, so it might not hold up. It's probably not a great movie, but I remember liking it, watching it a bunch.
Well, I mean, because it was in that one he played a scumbag, and then it's like, okay, now he's likable. But it was just like,
yeah, it's a Scrooge movie. Right?
Yeah.
It was just one of those. Let Joe Pesci's hot. Let's get him into some movies.
I think that was like the year. Like I think he had like 7 movies come out.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was like two or 3 summers. It was just like there's he's in Lethal Weapon 4. Here's another Joe. Him and not Morgan Freeman, Danny Glover in a fishing movie.
Wait, what? Oh man. Oh, it's funny.
Huh.
Well, no, yeah, because he got big with Home Alone. Well, Goodfellas, Home Alone.
Yeah.
And then The Super was in '91. And then My Cousin Vinny was in '92.
Really?
Oh well, he had also done Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Before all of those. Well, that's the thing. He actually did a lot of shit for Goodfellas and before Lethal Weapon, and then the early '90s. Then My Cousin Vinny 92, Lethal Weapon 3, and then Home Alone.
Really?
Which was in '90. Yeah.
Wow.
And then after that, then started doing a bunch of the Casino, and then it got sort of. I mean, it's probably always been typed, but.
Well, I would think Casino, as that hot-headed. Because to me, I mean, I would like not. I always thought it's like if Joe Pesci ever lost it, that would be him. That would be him. F this, F that. And possibly shooting me. But yeah, no, Joe Pesci is one of the greatest actors too.
Nice.
So.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. 3. Sweet. Well, my number. Oh.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Sorry, did not need dog running out.
Oh.
So, number 3.
Hang on one sec. All right, number 3, and okay, so and this kind of goes with again the made by people who've made a lot of popular things, but probably not their most celebrated work. Uh, 1981 Time Bandits.
Okay, that's the I remember the name.
Oh shit! Oh well, let me refresh your memory. Things will start popping in.
Yeah.
Time Bandits, and it was made by the Monty Python.
Okay.
Yeah, it was their post Python era, and directed by Terry Gilliam. Terry Gilliam, written by him and Michael Palin, and has everybody. And it's the movie about the kid who time travels with a bunch of little people
Okay, yeah.
who work for God, and they go to different like historical.
I think we
eras
watched
in
this.
time.
I watched it in like 6th grade. And then
Oh yeah.
and then a short time later we watched the Phantom Booth movie.
Oh,
Tina, it's okay.
well, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this movie, I don't know. It's a weird one because like it's not one I watched a bunch as a kid, but there, I did watch it a couple times, and it's one of those movies where it's like, I I don't know if you remember, but like at the right towards the beginning of the movie, like the kids, it's the British kid, and it's at night in his bed, and like all of a sudden, like a knight on horseback rolls in out of his wall, is just sitting there in his room, like full plated knight, and then like and then leaves on horse, and he's like, "What the hell?" I swear to God, that might be like my first ever memory is watching that. Like you try to remember like your first memory,
Yeah.
like the first visual thing that you can remember seeing. I think that's the first is watching that scene. So it's always stuck with me. And there's the scene where they're like pushing his wall out, and they're helping him push the wall, and it's like moving, and now they're in a corridor, and the villain's this big head behind him, and it's chasing him. Yeah, just a lot of weird fucking visual shit. This entire movie, it's just so strange. Like the movie itself, ultimately, it's not the best. It's really weird, especially the second half. Kind of is weird.
I mean,
And
wasn't there like
it's not very funny either.
wasn't one of the like they had like a sort of like a Willy Wonka types where you remember where they go into the tunnel and it was a psychedelic. Wasn't there that type of scene?
I mean, a little bit. Yeah. The scene where they all the little people come in, and they basically go to one wall of his bedroom, and they push it, and it pushes out.
Okay.
And so it's like, it like just sort of extends, and they just keep pushing it, and it just keeps going. And yeah, and then this like floating green head starts chasing them,
Huh.
and they have to keep pushing it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of psychedelic. It's very trippy looking.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird stuff like that. And there's Sean Connery's in it. And there's a scene of him like fighting the Taurus or the bull.
Okay.
Bull man. I always remember that. And yeah, I don't know. And in the movie, and there's this really cool scene where they're in like hanging cages, and they have to like shimmy back and forth between the cages on ropes. That's a really cool scene.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff, but and it ends on a downer. It's a really weird movie. It's not the best movie, but I think it's weird enough that it deserves at least to be watched.
Okay. It was also financed by George Harrison.
Yes, it was. He was giving the Python Boys money to make their weird shit. 'Cause I think he also did Life of Brian too. I think he financed Life of Brian.
Yep.
So thanks, George. Keeping it weird, buddy. So
Well,
yeah, that's my number 3.
unfortunately, my number 2 was Top Secret.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, we can still
Damn.
talk a little bit more about Top Secret. I mean, it was like it was, the whole, them dressed up as dressed as a cow, and then where you see their boots. If anyone has seen the movie in the chat, the other funny scene about it.
I mean, it's like any other movies. It's the jokes just coming.
Yeah.
They're just going. It's nonstop, but it's a lot more like, it's a lot more subtle. It's not like this. It's not zany like Airplane. It's kind of got, because the background of the whole thing is like
they're playing
Nazi-occupied France.
They're playing it serious, like this is we're the resistance. We're playing it serious, but it's the gags in the background. I mean, they're at a pizza shop, and all the customers are pulling the cheese, and it's just getting longer and longer. And then also in the middle of it, he pulls a musical. Just starts singing. It's like, are you the famous American Nick Rivers? No, I'm Mel Torme.
And then doesn't Mel Torme show up?
I don't know who Mel Torme is.
Oh, just a singer. Just
okay.
Those old time crooners, right? I think.
But I was just that it's to the one guy's like, this definitely is not Mel Torme. Oh yeah, we forgot Latrine.
Latrine. No, I like the part where it's like, where he's like talking on the phone, and he's like, "What is the condition of the so?" Very well. Let me know if there's any change. Just hangs up. He's dead.
And then it's like he's got to perform, and then he's like, but he's set to execution, and so he's getting. You see Nick Rivers about to be shot, and the phone's ringing, and the old lady's on her walker, slowly getting the phone.
No, these are all classic, and no one says these classics like the Airplane classics. So
wasn't it Peter?
Wholly underappreciated.
Was it Peter Sellers, the spy in the beginning?
Peter Sellers? Let's see. I don't think so.
The opening.
No. Maybe that was Omar Sharif.
Okay. Because I remember that opening, and he's fighting the weren't they supposed to be Nazis, or were they just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they're fighting, and there's that one giant Nazi, and it's like ducks down, and he ducks down on the train, and the guy standing there and just doesn't even faze this giant guy. And then he gets crushed in a car.
Hey, we're both vindicated. The first user review that comes up says an overlooked gem. There you go. See, wholly underrated.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm just like reading the quotes. What's wrong with him? Oh, he caught a cold last week, and he's just a little hoarse. My uncle was born in America. Oh, really? But he was one of the lucky ones. He managed to escape in a balloon during the Jimmy Carter presidency.
I forgot that.
Dude, there's just so many.
I mean,
It's,
it would take all the salt out of the. We would never run out of salt anytime. There's the mine that detects the submarine. Don't touch that. Oh no.
okay, I gotta stop. That's, yeah, just the cavalry. Awesome shit.
Having it on chocolate mousse.
Chocolate mousse. Ego, soufflé, escargot, chocolate mousse. Also,
Oh yeah, I think that was also the first time I heard about the car that exploded on the car that exploded. It was like and I was like, I'm like, that's not real. And somebody told me years later, like, no, that was a real car. Apparently, shit. The company put the gas tank in the back of it, so any type of small ding would explode it.
damn.
Yeah.
There you go. See, own stunts. That's how they did it back in the day. It's all the real shit.
So what's your number 2?
All right, my number
part 2.
My part 2. Top 5 most esoteric, underappreciated movies, and yeah, this one probably is not well known, and people definitely don't like it. Night Flyers. I've definitely made you watch it back in the day.
Yeah, I know there's a movie called Night Flyer, but I don't think it's the same one.
No, yeah, Night Flyers, 1987. It's a space horror flick. Let me see if I can jog your memory. It's about a crew on a spaceship. Well, that's how they all are. And there's this hologram, and the captain is a hologram because the ship's fully automated. And but the spirit of his dead mother is on board. She kills all the people. Wow, no, I'm not. No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, I have to look.
I had to have made you watch this.
I think you. Night Flyers. Okay, that's not.
Yeah, directed by Robert Collector, who didn't do much, although he did direct Red Heat.
Huh.
Funny. And written by one George R.R. Martin. Well, based on a book, based on a novel of them.
Okay.
Robert Jaffe probably wrote the screenplay, I would imagine.
Okay.
Although maybe not.
There's the.
But in any case.
Oh, there was a 2018 show. Plot summary. Any notable actors in it?
No. Well, absolutely not. Other than James Avery, who plays Daryl, who was the uncle on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay. That's probably the closest that you'll get. Yeah, no, kind of just random actors. Although, wait, Michael Prade played Roy. Wasn't stuff. Well, anyway, no, look, people just call this just 80s sci-fi trash, and they're dead wrong. There's some, yeah, I don't know what it is. I really like how this movie looks. There's something about it that hits me just the right way. There's something just really like, I don't know, unsettling about it, like, but also, I don't know, because it's very cyberpunkish. It's very cyberpunk, but like subdued cyberpunk in a way. And yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it, and I and I think really fucking kind of like as a kid, like there's a couple parts in this that are really like scary to me, that really freaked me the fuck out as a kid. There's a lot of just weird shit that goes on in the movie, and yeah, kind of like a lot of disgusting stuff. Uh, and also a great soundtrack, fucking amazing sound or score, I should
Okay.
say. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's something that everybody should watch. It's got a 4.3. Yes, yeah. People think this movie sucks. I so disagree.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm just watching the trailer and I was like, I have no. Yeah.
Maybe I did make you watch it, because yeah, I used to watch it all the time, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I had a fucking huge crush on the main actress. Jesus Christ. Um,
Yeah,
and then yeah, like a couple years ago, I actually read the novella, which yeah, it's fine.
okay.
Movies, I think the movie's better, folks. Hot fucking take. That's right. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I should give it a chance.
if I find it on streaming, I'll definitely have to give it a watch.
Like if I was ever able to make like sci-fi space movie, I would make it look like I'd try to make it kind of in the same aesthetic as this movie. Because yeah, it just looks fucking awesome.
I would.
That's
Yeah.
about it.
Okay. Yeah, that. Because I remember,
All right,
I think we watched a lot of, you know, weird space horror movies.
yeah, we did. Yeah, we certainly did.
That- That's just, it's weird to say, and it's like, hmm. Well, someone.
All right. Well, before we get to our number one,
Here's.
we got any honorable mentions
Yeah.
to mention in the house?
All right. So okay,
Yeah.
if I did the quote, things that dreams are made of, what movie do you think that would have?
Oh God. Well, my mind went immediately to Never-Ending Story, but that's not.
Yeah. No.
No, it's tickling the back of my head, but oh God. What dreams may come?
Nah. What the things that dreams are made of?
Oh,
It's a noir movie.
oh. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay, to me, my nominal is really is pretty well known. It is actually one of them, but to me, it's the Maltese Falcon.
Oh,
And the reason I put for this was because everyone knows, Casablanca, Play It Again, Sam, all those. But to me, the Maltese Falcon just, everyone to me sweeps it underneath the carpet. You know.
well, I mean, I know. Well, I mean, I know that like amongst critics, well, a lot of like, movie buffs, like, I know that.
Yeah.
but yeah, but maybe not in terms of like general popularity.
Yeah, well, because it was like years ago. I went to try it. Like, okay, I found it on Netflix one day. It was one of my late night stay ups. Maltese Falcon. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? Loved it. And it was like, and then the next day it was like, hey, back when to me actually Netflix, it's their algorithms worked. They, it was like, hey, we know watch the Maltese Falcon. Here, how about this? Then brung up Casablanca or Casablanca. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I couldn't get like 20 minutes of the movie because it was like the guy was completely, Humphrey Bogart. To me, he was completely unsympathetic. To me, he was just a giant asshole. But then I wanted to get a copy of the Maltese Falcon, and I think it was like, whoever owns the rights to his, I think it was like his birthday or the company's birthday, and so they released all these classics. Found Casablanca, the Caribbean trip, where he's a ship pilot going through the Amazon, and a couple other movies, but I could not find the Maltese Falcon.
Interesting.
And to me, it's
I wonder if if it's been re-released in any capacity or anything like that.
Yeah. Now I honestly haven't. I still haven't really seen it because to me it's one of those I would pick up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, man, that's something I should get on Laserdisc.
Yeah, I got it digitally because it was one of those. Hey, Voodoo had it for like $2, and I'm like, hey,
Nice.
best $2 I spent. I mean, still a great movie.
Nice. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I should watch it.
You got any honorable mentions?
Well, yeah, I got Ice Pirates on here.
I remember
going to be in my top 5, but
I remember seeing that, but I have no recollection of it.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, it's just my parents really like it was something like my parents really enjoyed. I remember that
because because it was the actor of it. She had like sort of that celebrity crush on
Robert Ulrich. Yeah. Probably. I mean, I could only imagine. But yeah, so it was a movie they watched, and I don't know. Yeah, it was just made in '84. Just yeah, I think, God, this is definitely a nostalgia one for me, definitely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also another kind of really weird, like, space sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely going off of Star Wars. It's like a comedy Star Wars. It really is. And so it's like so it's not like the best movie, but it's just weird. And the biggest thing I remember about it is the last 20 minutes. There's it's a bit where they're all getting older.
Huh.
And so at the last 20 minutes, where they're like fighting these like robots and things, like all the actors are getting older, but then they reverse the machine, and so they start getting younger. And then they're kids, and then they're babies, and it's just funny. It's just, and I don't think any other movies ever done that in that kind of way.
I mean, I remember seeing the cup, like going to the video store, and yes, people there, back before there were streamings, we went to the Blockbuster, the Great American Videos. Our locals store outlets. And I remember seeing it was like one of those I always wanted to check out, but it was just like it was always like, well, if I don't find a movie, I'll get this one, or if I didn't get a game, I'll get this one.
Oh yeah. No, it's just kind of a weird little. And it had a bunch of other people: Angelica Houston, Bruce Valanche was in it, Ron Perlman, John Carradine. Just it's so random. It's a random. But
I mean, to me,
yeah.
If I got told that was also a Terry Gilliam or a Monty Python, I would believe it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing. It's almost like it's like an Americanized version of that. That's what it feels like. So yeah, I don't know.
No, I do have one more honorable mention. Wild Things.
Ah.
You know,
That's putting me in. I think I just got a flashback. Wait, that's Kevin Bacon, right?
Yep. Kevin Bacon.
Oh shit, dude. Okay.
Because to me, it is a great whodunit movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you ask anyone like a great whodunit movie, I'm pretty sure this would not be on anyone's list. And yes,
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
And because in one, Bill Murray makes an appearance in it, and it's like, okay, Bill Murray's in it. And yes, I had a crush on the Christine Richards. I thought she was more beautiful than Neve Campbell.
Oh, Denise Richards.
Denise, thank you.
Oh, yeah, she's beautiful, of course.
And she's still, she's still, last photo, she's still beautiful.
Hey, somehow.
Yeah.
How do they do it?
Botox. I don't want to be mean, but yeah, it's
no. I remember I watched this movie in the drive-in.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember what it was. It was a movie before the other movie that I wanted to watch. I can't remember what it was. But I remember wanting to drive in, and I remember, liking it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the trailer coming out, and I know a lot of it. If people who seen it, it's like, ooh, the famous Denise Richards, Neve Campbell makeout session. It was like, okay, I was a young boy at the time, yeah. But when I watched it, it was a great. It was. I'm like, oh my god, this is a great. It's a great whodunit movie. To me, it would this would have been more to me a more believable, say, than Scream. To me, Scream's more. What's the word?
Schlocky?
Yes. Because I don't think if a series of murders happened, people kids would not be going to having a movie party, and stuff. If their principal got it's like they wouldn't be celebrating. I'm sorry. As much as I didn't like my high school, junior high administrative, I would be sad that that happened to them. But with this one, Matt Dillon's character gets accused of a serious crime, and he paid for. He was found innocent. He paid for it, losing because he lost his job.
Well, and it's weird, and the thing is like in the movie, you believe, like it's pretty easy to believe that he would do it because he plays a pretty schmarmy dude.
Yeah.
Like you believe, like you're automatically like, yeah, definitely. Then but then you realize everyone's fucking schmarmy.
Yeah.
And fucked up. So all of a sudden, anything can be.
Yep. And then you got that, Kevin Bacon, you figured he's just, he's pretty straight laced, but he's focused. He knows this person did something wrong, and then you find out, no, he's a corrupt sob.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I only had one other one, and it's kind of weird because I don't think it's a great movie at all, but I think it's worth watching.
Okay.
And that's Popeye.
That was a weird. And we're talking the Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Because I think they did a cartoon. Because I remember. Okay, that is actually supposed to be more to the original comic. Because when it came out, everyone thought it. Because this is at the time his cartoon, the Popeye cartoon, was famous. So everybody was expecting that. It was like, no, it's based off the OG comics.
Yeah. And
that was a weird movie.
Directed by Robert Altman, like a real fucking director.
Wow.
Made this movie, and I remember I watched a little thing about it, and yeah, like they spent so much money on this movie, making this movie, because they built the entire town from scratch.
Yeah.
That whole fucking town on the seacoast, built it from scratch. Had Robin Williams in it, big name actor, Shelley Duvall, and it was like, yeah, it was supposed to be a big deal, and then it ultimately bombed because the movie is not that. It's a fucking fever dream.
Yeah.
Because Robin Williams is just mumbling the entire time. You can't understand what he's saying, and it's just him hanging out in this town, and it's so weird. The town is weird. People are weird. Like, is this a kids movie? Is it an adult movie? Like,
yeah, I remember watching it. It was just like, again, the small of cartoons, and I already had this. It's probably not based from the cartoon, but it was like, it's just weird.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's boring.
Yeah,
like I think it's just a boring movie, but I think it's worth watching just in terms of seeing watching looking at that set, thinking that they built that whole fucking thing.
Wow.
It's just I think it's worth watching as a movie for people interested in about how they make movies, why they make movies, where they can spend the money, how something can go so wrong in that regard, kind of like Waterworld. So, and definitely, yeah, people don't like it for a reason, but yeah, I think it's worth a watch. So that was an honorable mention.
that was.
Yeah, see, it's a fever dream. You're look, you're coding. You're going in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also like looking at. Okay, so for the IMDb, it is a 1980 musical comedy film. Yeah, directed by Robert Altman. Based on. Produced by Paramount Pictures and Walt Disney Productions.
Oh, interesting.
Sweet Haven was the name. How much did it? So its budget was $20 million, box office $60 million.
Oh, really? Oh, so they made. Oh, so it made its money back.
Yeah, but it was probably just because it was just like, it was as a comedy, and it's just like, yeah. Involving an octopus that the beast malfunctioned. Of course, whenever there's a beast that's supposed to be in water, it malfunctions. All right. So, all right, my number one.
Number one, let's go.
This is it is actually a tie, but to me, you can almost put these as the same movie because they have the almost exact same premise.
Oh, okay.
The computer who wore tennis shoes and the world's
Oh,
strongest
God.
man.
Oh my god.
And I think there are other movies because I think there's at least a third one. You know, with and this is like one of Kurt. This is teenage Kurt Russell with in the Disney movie.
Wait. So wait, it's called World's Strongest Man.
Yeah,
Man,
Oh.
man, IMDb doesn't even have. I mean, it has it, but it has no info about it. Yeah.
I mean, because if you
You found an underappreciated. You found an unknown movie.
yeah, because I mean, I don't know if this was even if it was considered a big budget or just one of those like, what was it like Sundays were like on I think it was on ABC was Disney Night. It was like one of those type of movies. Because I mean, it's you know. Because these two movies follow the same. There's two. Kurt Russell's this, like the popular kid. He's smart. Everyone likes him, and like computer wore tennis shoes. He's helping his I want to say his professor to go pick up a because they got his college is like one of those colleges that is just barely hanging on by a thread. The dean is pinching every penny he can. They get a brand new computer, and this is not the computers that we have now. These are walls that could take up a whole these. And he has to go pick up a Pacific piece, and he is struck by like lightning, or no, he gets shocked installing it. I think no lightning was involved, and now he has, he essentially has the internet in his head, and like Cesar Romero, he's in it. The guy. If people don't know him, he was in Batman 66. He was the Joker. And again, it's like same thing with World's Strongest Man. He's in a chemistry science, and somehow he makes a formula that falls into a bowl of cereal, and then he becomes, like the slide. Anything he touches breaks.
Well, hang on. Wait. What movie are you talking about?
This
Right
one's
now?
the World's Strongest Man, but the first one was the computer that wore tennis shoes.
Right. Well, okay. So, are you sure it's called World's Strongest Man? Because
I could be wrong.
Kurt Russell was in a movie called The Strongest Man in the World.
That probably is it.
Made by Walt Disney Pictures.
Yeah, that's the movie.
But just side note, there is a movie called World's Strongest Man, and the only thing that IMDb knows about it is the actor. Now I'm super fucking curious about that movie. But no, okay, yeah. Looking at the cover, yeah, I kind of remember. Did you have this movie?
No.
Did you own this movie?
No. If I did, I do not remember owning it.
Oh, I recognize the cover.
But I do remember watching Disney, and it would pop up, and
Okay.
to me I think that it was also again during those 80s. I watched enough Kurt Russell movies. He's like one of my favorite actors.
Okay, and this movie, you're like, yeah, this is an all right movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, it's in a weird spot, right? Because it's one of those Walt Disney movies, right?
Yeah.
That was sort of like made, yeah, you know, like Condor Man, just that weird shit that did not get a theatrical release, or that they made it and they went straight to video and also on their channel.
Yeah, I don't know, because to me, honestly, I don't see it being a theater. I mean, to me, if it was back in the the olden days, this was a movie that probably would play, in front of but it's a full length movie. One of those movies.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like Herbie the Love Bug would fall in the same category, even though that became a little more popular.
Yeah.
And then maybe like after the fact, they showed it in movie theaters once it had like played on their channel.
Yeah. I mean,
wait, kind of like how it works now.
But yeah, no,
during the pandemic.
I mean, it was, maybe it was one of those they released it for like Sunday, for those parents who drop their kids off at theaters. It's like, okay, yeah, here's a Disney movie, have them have 75 cents, so you can at least have half an hour of peacetime. Yeah.
Wow, let's kind of, man, it's kind of interesting looking at, because Kurt Russell, he did a lot of stuff before that movie too.
Yeah.
A lot of different series and stuff like that, but only like a couple of movies. But are they all Walt Disney Pictures?
Because there's one I think it's called the horse in a gray suit or something like that.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Is he the dude in the suit?
I don't know, but I remember seeing a like it was going to premiere one night and it had Kurt Russell. I'm like, I gotta see this movie about this horse. What is Cesar Romero going to want with this horse? Because in the movie, for apparently Cesar Romero buys himself this computer that can tell him the odds of which horse is going to are going to come first. And while during a academic bull, Kurt Russell just starts like Butter 001 and Cesar Romero sees it and he's like, all right, turn off everything, make sure you go get that kid.
Man, also made by Walt Disney. Also starring Kurt Russell. That's.
I think there was one, but like Kurt Russell didn't. He was in it, but like his friend turned invisible or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, I always feel like I hear about the computer wore tennis shoes, or that it's referenced in like different, because it is kind of a weird Prussian sort of thing.
I mean, because to be one of the funniest scenes, like they're giving them a physical, and they look, I think it was in his eyes or ears.
Eyes. I just saw it on the trailer.
Yeah, his eyes, and also you see it's a computer like bloop bloop, and they're like sitting there going, okay, what do we do?
So.
I mean. And it was like they end up winning, but it's like you think they would try the college world, like, no, you can't have a walking internet. Well, there was no such thing at the internet at the time. A walking supercomputer on your team.
This kid's amazing. He can store 15 megabytes of data.
Oh my god.
Wow, man, I didn't realize Kurt was acting since he was a child actor.
Yep. No, I'm thinking of what's I was thinking Ron Howard. I was like, because didn't he do shit, the Andy Griffith Show? Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, he'd started out that, but then he moved away from that. Correct?
Yeah.
Kurt's been doing it since the beginning.
and so
That's all he's been doing.
so supposedly, Walt Disney's last words he wrote was Kurt Russell's name.
Like, does like sign a check?
I don't know if it was on a notepad, but he wrote, just when they went, apparently when they found him when he died or something, they found Kurt Russell, in Walt's hand, Kurt Russell.
That's weird. Dude, Kurt Russell got taken. It's Walt Disney and Kurt Russell's body. Like, they transferred his brain. Dude, that's actually Walt Disney. In 2 years' time, yeah, Kurt Russell's going to become the CEO of Disney. You just wait. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool. All right, well, yeah, folks, those Walt Disney pictures, sometimes they get a bad rap, but maybe check these two out.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great watch. I mean, one of those you just sit down, have some popcorn, and watch and watch a bunch of college kids outsmart gangsters.
Ooh, actually, here, I got a new category that we can do. Top 5 most watchable films. As in, the films that you can just put on and just watch, or find yourself watching a bunch, even to this day.
I know like 2 of them right now. I could.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I put that down. Cool. Well, anything else about this tie?
No.
All right. Well, number one. My number one. Well, I don't know. This one's hard because I don't think it's underappreciated. It could be esoteric, as in not a lot of people know. What I think is true is that not a lot of a general consensus of people have seen it. But it is very well liked by critics. People that love it really love it, and I'm in one of those camps. It's one of my top 5 films ever. But number one is Primer.
Okay, that's the it's a time traveling movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. 2004.
Okay. Was this who was it directed by?
Well, yeah. So Shane Carruth
Okay.
directed it, wrote it, edited it, film score. He made all of it. He made it all for $7 grand.
Wow.
And yeah, it's basically it's just his movie. Did pretty much almost all of the work behind it. Took out loans, maxed out credit cards, had a lot of help from family and friends. All the locations are family and friends. But and most of the $7 grand came from because he actually filmed. That's the most expensive.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, Primer, yeah, it's a tale of two amateurish engineers, inventors who accidentally create a time machine.
Yeah, what was it?
And
how they could only go so far back in time. It's not like they could go to Dallas, Texas, or anything, right?
have you? Well, first question is, have you seen it?
No, but an old podcast I used to listen to, that was one of his one of his all time favorite movies, and he was he would bring it up as much as he could when it came to, because I think they did they themselves did it their own top 5, and one of them was time travel movies.
Oh yeah.
And that was number one. When anything had to deal with time travel with books or comic books they were reviewing, he would always bring up Primer.
Yeah, because well, yeah, it's. I mean, it's pretty. It's simple in its face. Like, yeah, they build this time machine where you you turn it on, you flip the switch, and then and at any point later, you can get into the machine and go back to when the switch was.
Okay.
That's when you go back. So, wait a day, wait 2 days, wait a week. When that switch was flipped, that's when you can.
Okay.
But they do it. But they do it accidentally. They accidentally make it. They're trying to make something else. And the first part of and that's the beauty of the film is like it's just pretty low key. It's just these inventors just trying to make something, and it shows them making the stuff, and then figuring out in a very real way why this would work or how it's working, and then they start doing it, and then shit starts happening, time paradoxes, or they like meeting other selves that have come back. All of it makes sense, and it's a little you have to rewatch it to really understand it, or even watch YouTube videos to understand how many timelines are going on.
Okay.
And the major problem with is that he only made it for $7,000, so the latter half is very piecemeal.
Okay.
Like it's just there's not enough. It just starts to really feel he ran out of time, couldn't film everything he wanted, so you sort of have to extrapolate what's going on.
Okay.
Like this is like if there was a top 5 what movies remade, this would also be, because if he actually had money and a budget, like it would be like the best time travel time.
Okay. I always did want to watch it, and it was like, unfortunately, like when I did find it like on streaming, like Vudu, or I think I did find it on Netflix, but I didn't know it at the time. Well, they were wanting a unreasonable price, but I definitely do want to see it now.
Oh yeah, you should definitely watch it. Definitely. It's and then you'll want to watch it again.
Okay.
And it's also pretty watchable. I mean,
Okay.
at least for me, I think it's watchable. Like there's not much action. There's not any of that. It's mostly just two dudes talking. That's most of the stuff that's happening. But it's just it's the best. It's my favorite time travel as well.
Okay.
And the people that know about it and love it really love it. But I just don't. It's just one of those things where it's so independent that I don't think it's just not a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's all been word of mouth. So anyway, yeah, that's my number 1. There we go.
Well, do you and does anyone else have the esoteric movies that you think no one else should have watched, that they should watch? Write it down in the comments.
Let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a list. I've already, I'm gonna hit up Yellowbeard quick.
And I think Yellowbeard is on Tubi.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, if you don't like it, Torres, we may have to go our own separate ways.
No. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm just gonna flash back to like your living room in the '80s, dude. I swear to, because we watched this a lot.
Yeah.
So
And see, it's like, I don't know why I liked it so much, but it was just like, I know, but it was like stagger, roll, and it's just like, if you think that's not really, it shouldn't be funny, but watching the entire watching the British Army doing it, so it's like essentially a conga line of people jumping up and down.
Oh yeah.
cheese
Yeah. It's
for
on the
some,
list.
has to bang bang his head for forgiveness. And then when he's doing it again for another reason, he's like, "Excuse me," and Chong's going, "Excuse me, why are you banging your head?" Well, I say, "Yes, everyone will see it. You look like a fool."
Yeah. No, it's on the list.
Yeah, I definitely have to give if I could ever see Primer, I'll give that because I heard a lot of decent things about it. The guy, and I think that was his complaint about was had he had just a little bit more money, we would have got his probably saw what he envisioned as it.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it works, but yeah, it loses in the second half a little bit. You just have to like figure things out a bit more, and that's not fair to it when it by its very nature is confusing because it's time travel. And then add on to that like budget and also every shot in the movie is the first and only take.
Well, I mean, which makes sense.
Because he couldn't waste film.
Yeah.
He says there's like one shot, which is like the third take. Only like one shot. Couldn't get a line right. But other than that, every shot. So a lot of the shots are like out of focus. And like there's one shot at night that's like super grainy and you can't hear anything. So it's like, fuck. Like if you actually had time, it would just be so much better. But that's it. But that's the only fault.
Right. So, a recount of what our top fives were. Number 5, a recount. My first for me was Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Top Secret.
Number 4, Yellowbeard.
Kroll.
3, My Cousin Vinny.
Time Bandit.
Number 2, Top Secret.
Night Flyers.
And number 1, Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. And I wrote on my list as the world's strongest man, but I know
the strongest man in the world.
Strongest man in the world.
And mine is Primer.
Yeah.
So there you go, folks. Some people look at that list and be like, "What the fuck is this?" And they'll be like, "No, give him a shot. Give him a shot."
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So, and we'll be back next time. Do we want to say?
I think we're gonna do. I think we're just gonna do top 5 books straight up.
Yep, our favorite books.
It's gonna be a big one.
Stories. And yeah, so tune in next time. And I'm Phil Nielsen.
T Tizzle signing out.
All right.